And welcome to episode 26 of the Geek Conclave Mixtapes. I'm your host, Eddie Fregoso. Just a quick disclaimer, there was no video podcast last episode. I just did audio. That's why for the YouTube side of this, you're like, what happened to volume 25? It exists, just in audio form. So we had another technical difficulty. We have a lot of those around here. It's all good, Paul. It's all good. In a minute, I'll bring Paul and Tommy on. But I just wanted to say, because I keep forgetting to do this every podcast, and it's not good. I need to get more involved with like promoting it. So for the audio side, if you listen to it on Apple, Spotify, I don't think you can actually rate it on or comment on Spotify, but Google Podcasts, pretty much the podcast is available wherever podcasts are available. So if you could just rate it, 5 stars would be cool. But if you don't think I deserve that, then give me whatever you think I deserve. But the more ratings I get, the more people can see this, should they want to. Yeah. But with that said, yeah, just if you could do that, and then zone it out. So that's it. So I'm going to bring in Tommy and Paul now. I'm going to change 3-person view. So, hi, Paul. Hi, Tommy.
What's up?
How's it going?
So, I was going to do the intro like a little differently, but Tommy came on and gave us very interesting and depressing news at the same time. So, this is going to be like a little sports talk, hence why I called this thing a mixtape, because we talk about everything and nothing at the same time. So, yeah, so I guess this was today on First Take. So I don't have cable right now, so I wouldn't have been able to watch it. But I did hear who played it, Paul or Tommy? Which one you played it?
Tommy.
Tommy played it. It thoroughly upset me. So Tommy, replay the clip.
Hold on, give me a second. I'm doing it off of Instagram, that's why. Hold on.
It's all good. I better not get flagged for copyright for this either.
I hope not.
So I'm saying this right now for the audio section, or for the video section.
Okay.
If you don't get
Right,
to see the clip, it got cut. So go ahead.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
National sport itself in terms of participation. But when you talk about an audience gravitating to the tube, to the ballpark, to actually watch you, okay? It helps. And the number one face is a dude that needs an interpreter so you can understand what the hell he's saying in this country. And that's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, the thing at the end wasn't him. It was just it was the Instagram post that put in the Chappelle Show Clayton Bigsby. So that I know I have to cut out because Viacom will come at me for that. But so yeah, it's very depressing. Stephen A. Smith is a controversial figure as a sports analyst anyway. He says some shit that's like overhyped, and then I think it's like his MO, like he likes to push buttons. But this was just a terrible take. Ironically, it was on First Take, and it's just shitty.
He went after a dude, a UFC fighter, not too long ago. He said that he quit. He was fighting against McGregor. McGregor kind of beat him down, and I didn't see the fight, but he called him a quitter. And every analyst or fighter came out in defense of the dude, Cowboy Cerrone, I think his name was. So he just has bad takes. This is probably the worst that I've heard from him. Just he speaks sometimes without thinking, and I don't know if he feels that way.
It's just weird because I know his show is called First Take, and it's just ironic that like he doesn't think when he speaks, because I remember he always tries to pride himself as like an educated black man in America, but this obviously wasn't that, and it's like really upsetting because like, let me see if I'm gonna read his apology. So Paul put it in the Discord. So All right. So, just picture this as Stephen A. Smith. If you want to see this, like read it instead of hearing my voice, it's just on his Twitter account. But it says, "Let me apologize right now. As I'm watching things unfold, let me say that I never intended to offend any community, particularly the Asian community, and especially I always screw up his name, so someone else say it because I'm not. Shohei Otani himself. As an African, sorry, that's not in the tweet. As an African American, keenly aware of the damage stereotyping has done to many in this country, it should have elevated my sensitivities even more. Based on my words, I failed in that regard, and it's on me. And me alone. Otani is one of the brightest stars in all of sports. He is making a difference as it pertains to inclusiveness and leadership. I should have embraced that in my comments. Instead, I screwed up. In this day and age, with all the violence being perpetuated against the Asian community, my comments, I a bit unintentional, were clearly insensitive and regrettable. There is simply no other way to put it. I'm sincerely sorry for any angst I've caused in my comments on First Take this morning. Again, I am sorry, and I'll happily reiterate these words more extensively tomorrow morning as well." Basically, he's pissed off that he got caught, and I'm pretty sure he's not trying to get a Rachel Nichols situation. That's my interpretation.
What do you think about it, Paul? What's your take on it? The comments and the apology.
I retweeted this maybe like an hour ago, but somebody on Twitter, dump on the ump, said maybe Mike Trout would be more marketable if he learned Japanese. So
ooh, that's a very good take. That's a very good comeback. Who's that person?
Dump on the ump is his Twitter handle. I retweeted it, so I put it on there, and I think that's perfect. Just like
I'm gonna retweet that.
It's a bad
on Twitter to retweet that.
It's a really bad take. It's just a really bad take on what he's saying. I know Stephen A. Smith is the type of person who wants to make headlines. He wants to be loud, obnoxious. He had a good streak going until this. Yeah, it was just really bad in terms of what's been going on politically, what's been going on with the climate of the country. And it's just plain and ignorant as far as like his whole take on there. Because you have somebody like Ichiro who's still in the MLB, and he's still one of the most popular players who has an interpreter. And I'm fine with that, and people have been fine with that. So why do you need an interpreter to be really, really good in this country?
You shouldn't have to.
Just have your play speak for itself. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's annoying because that's just like that's one of those things. So by that logic, if Stephen A. Smith were to like for some reason be taken to Japan, then he should actually be speaking in Japanese on TV instead of having an interpreter. That's literally what he's saying. So that's
I just think, real quick, I just think Japanese. That
I want to actually want to go to Japan. I want to go to Japan. It looks really, really pretty. I'd like to go there someday. Just
my quick take on it is that instead of like celebrating the fact that the best player in the game right now is the Japanese American or Japanese player, like celebrating that fact, he's kind of trying to tear him down. That just sends all the wrong signals. Like it's like downright just disgusting to me that he would go there and say like, I don't know what he was trying to say, that it hurts the game because the best player in the
I don't
league
understand
is Japanese.
How regards that hurts it. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know what like why he would even bring that up. You know what I mean? I think it was great. Like I didn't know he was leading the league. I think I watched it the other day. I didn't know he was leading the league in home runs and kind of tearing it up. And I was like, great. Like he's a local player. He's playing for one. Yeah, he's playing for one of the local teams. He could pitch and hit and play the field. Like that should be celebrated. And he's a Japanese American. I don't want to say Japanese American, but he plays in America. But it should be celebrated. The diversity of the game. You know what I mean? They're the best players in the game are. Doesn't matter if you're black, Japanese, white, Latino. Like that should be celebrated. The diversity in the game, not being torn down. So it's kind of sad that we came to this point, and especially like you said, what Paul said, the political climate right now. It's distressing that he would go there, you know. So
Yeah,
especially being on ESPN and stuff.
Well, that and just especially himself being a black man in America. Like, why would you do that? Like,
yeah, it's a horrible take.
So
horrible take on that.
I had to bring it up because like it did upset me. So I just needed to like kind of get it out there, so it's not so much lingering on the rest of the podcast. But yeah, if you want to add 2 cents to that, by all means, geekconclave@gmail.com. So as for the regularly scheduled stuff, it's a Marvel heavy episode. I had in the notes like one thing about DC, but it's really not that big, so I'll just kind of drop it now and then we'll go on with it. There was like a set photo of Black Adam off Rock's Instagram. Nothing big, black and white. You kind of see his outfit. All he did was say that it's not a typical outfit like Marvel or DC as far as like the suit goes, being like the muscle built suit. So it looked pretty cool, but that's pretty much all it is for DC news. That's like kind of out there, worth talking about. There's rumors and all that stuff, but we're not going to get into that. But as for the Marvel side, it's going to be Black Widow, because that just opened. And yeah, will be spoilers when we talk about it. Loki episode 5, which is preview for that is my favorite episode out of the whole series right now. And then the What If trailer. And then from video game stuff, underwhelming reveal. But the Nintendo OLED Switch. Talk about that. But before we do, I gotta talk about this because me and Paul just figured this out. Apparently, I have a collector's edition of Scott Pilgrim. So this just came in today. I ordered this in Best Buy like Friday. Yeah, Friday? Yeah. And it said it was going to come in August 16th. So I was really happy that it came early because I was going to pick it up in a Best Buy, but it was sold out when it came out. But Paul's just says Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So let me see if it'll get on here. Focus. See that? I have French right at the bottom. And then you flip the back. And then, hold on. There's French on the bottom here. And then English. And then French at the bottom. Paul's doesn't look like that at all. On the inside, normal. See, look at Paul's just says versus world. This is the non-sleeved part, normal. The sleeve is French. I don't know how that happened. I don't know why it happened, but it's cool. And on the spine here, it says versus the world in English. And then Scott Pilgrim versus, I don't know if I'm saying it right, I don't speak French. Le Monde. Yeah, so someone tell me how to pronounce that. So it's Le Monde, because in Spanish, mundo is world. So Scott Pilgrim versus Le Monde. Cool.
Mine would be Mike Trout, and yours would be Shohei Ohtani.
Bringing it full circle. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. It's pretty cool.
And go get Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Just celebrated its 11th anniversary, so go pick it up.
Yep. I should be getting that limited run game within the next week, and I will do an unboxing video for that. That's gonna be cool. Anything else you guys want before we get on anything? Like anything else? Any interesting?
Any other pickups?
Car rides? Anything you guys get? Collector wise,
Tommy,
that you can say with your significant other there.
I have a bunch of pickups, but I can't bring them to my apartment.
Wow.
I only spend my money on random food. So that's the extent of my financial situation.
Tommy can't say it, because if Tommy were to say it right now, he'd be pulled off the podcast. Paul, did you pick up anything?
I did.
Aside from Scott Pilgrim, well, this is an old one, Super 8. I don't know if I have Super 8.
Great.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time. That one got released 4K for its 10th anniversary. Yeah, good soundtrack. So
It's a good movie.
Definitely love that movie.
I'm gonna try to get Howard the Duck. I saw that Howard the Duck came out too, so I might pick that up. Sorry, Tim, you were saying something and then we cut you off.
Oh, I'm trying to buy a Wonder Woman, Spider-Gwen. I think there's another. I don't know. It's on eBay, but he has it like in a bundle. So I'm trying to get like him to separate it. So I'm trying to get him to email me so I could like do a deal outside of eBay.
Mm-hmm.
eBay is like Mercari. They flag your messages. Like if you send like your phone number or your email address, they'll block it. So what I did is I emailed him my I sent him a message, but I sent him my email address, but like in parts. Like send him my email and then all in separate messages, gmail.com, like all separate. And he hasn't emailed me back. I really want that Wonder Woman and Spider-Gwen. They're hard to find. Like you never see those like come up.
Yeah.
So they're open, so I could display them. So that's what I'm looking to do. So.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, I did get a Star-Lord and I did get a Nebula and some other ones, Thanos and a Thor. So I just need to find a space to display them now. So my little Neandroids.
Well, besides Cuphead, that's all I've picked up.
I still have your Mandalorian. I still have your Mandalorian. I don't know. Something.
Yeah,
I think my girlfriend put it away.
I gotta pick it up. Yeah. Well, it's not my Mandalorian. It's my buddy's, but.
Yeah.
Cause
I still have that for you.
I have too many of him. I bought him too many times. But so I would have pre-ordered something. I don't know if it would count because it wouldn't came yet, but it actually is something I'm gonna talk about right now. So there's quite a set of pops that came out, but the pops that we're gonna focus on are the Marvel ones. So for the Loki episode, for episode 5, you had President Loki come out, Classic Loki, 2 versions of Kid Loki. The Funko Shop exclusive is a metallic version. And then the most sought after pop from that lineup is Alligator Loki. It's a Hot Topic exclusive. Oh, and I forgot to mention Classic Loki is a box launch exclusive. Hot Topic decided to pull the pre-orders. So on Sunday, I guess that's where it was. Like I expected it to be today, which is Monday, but it actually was yesterday that they went. Classic Loki went live on box lunches. I think is already sold out. I didn't really try to buy him. Metallic Kid Loki I think is going to be on Wednesday because it's a Funko Pop exclusive, so that's always usually how that rolls out. And then Alligator Loki was supposed to be from Hot Topic, but they pulled it, so there is no pre-order. They're just gonna like when he becomes available on the website, and he's probably gonna be the first one to go. So I try to enter something to win him. But, yeah, he's the PS5 of that lineup. But yeah, those pops are cool. Like, I kind of figured that they would be a variance. Kind of sad that Boastful Loki didn't get one, but yeah. And then, since we're on the subject of pops, the other ones that came out are from the trailer that we're going to talk about in just a second. Is the What If line. So, the first set was Captain Carter, which is Sharon Carter as Captain America. Gamora, daughter.
Not Sharon Carter.
Oh,
Peggy Carter.
Peggy Carter. Sorry. Brain fart. But it's Gamora, daughter of Thanos. It is it's Steve Rogers in an Iron Man suit. I forget the name of it. I think it's Hydra Smasher. Is that sound right? I think it's Hydra Smasher. Tommy called it Doctor Strange on crack, and I want to know why. But
because he has like eye shadow, like he has like bags under his eyes or something.
Oh, I was like,
if you look at the trailer, he has like, because I think what they were saying that Doctor Strange is what if like Doctor Strange was like Dormammu's like Padawan, I guess. I don't know what understudy or whatever that you want to call it. Oh. So because if you see him, he goes down into like where it looks like he's he's going into like Dormammu's like dimension or something like that.
Mhm.
So I'm
Yeah.
thinking that's like kind of like an evil Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I
So
just
it should've said
wanted to
evil
know why you
instead of,
said
like,
that.
cracked
That's why when you posted it
Yeah.
on Instagram, I was like, is he supposed to be on crack? Like I didn't know.
No.
And then the other one is the one that I want is T'Challa as Star-Lord, which is pretty cool. And then there's I guess 3 versions of that. So there's just the standard common pop. There's a box lunch exclusive, which it looks like it's metallic. And then there's the FYE exclusive of him unmasked. And it's pretty much like the same thing as the Peter Quill version, but obviously it's T'Challa. So that's pretty cool. Peggy Carter has another one. It's a GameStop exclusive and an Electronic Boutique exclusive. It's just a little variant for holding the shield. There is another Doctor Strange one that glows in the dark that's Amazon exclusive. And then it's King Killmonger. He's a Target exclusive. And the Thor, I think it was called King Thor. He's holding the wine glass and spinning Minior. He's a Walmart exclusive, but I guess it's already been pulled. So Walmart, I guess this wasn't supposed to be revealed, but it was. So I guess Walmart pulled it though. So it's not available for pre-orders right now. Kind of like Alligator Loki, but yeah. The What If trailer did come out on essentially Friday, right? Friday morning, or was it Thursday? I don't remember. I just know that it came out same time as Black Widow. And then I thought we would see it in theaters, but Paul came up with a good point. When we were at the theaters, it's a Disney Plus show, so it wouldn't make sense. I still think it would be cool, but I digress. So
if they had some showings at the theater for this, I would go watch it.
Eventually, they're gonna have to. I mean, like how I said last episode that they did at the Rose Bowl, they did like a drive-in theater type thing for Disney Plus stuff. Maybe they could do that for this. I'd see these in Dolby Digital. The trailer pretty much opens with like Tony Stark, like an original Iron Man, but he's saved by Killmonger instead of being kidnapped. So that's all it is. He's King Killmonger is what the pop says. So I mean, you can only kind of guess what happens. I'm trying to think what else is in the trailer that they don't have on pop form right now. Zombie Captain America. I can't think of. Is there anything else you guys can like remember from the trailer?
Spider-Man was in there. Scarlet Witch was in there briefly. So I'm kind of curious as to what extent, like what kind of what if show they're gonna do with those characters, or like what scenario they're gonna be in.
Yeah,
so they're in there as well. So
because the series is gonna be directed by Brian Andrews, who's normally the art department. He was the art department for Endgame and for Doctor Strange. So that's why it has like.
Is he directing? Yeah, he's directing all episodes.
Yeah, he's directing all the episodes. So it's keeping up the trend of pretty much all the Marvel shows, which has been one director as opposed to
because I think with the Mandalorian they would do different directors
each episode,
right?
and they're doing that again when that happens. But yeah, each same thing with Book of Boba Fett. They're doing different directors for each episode.
It seems to work for Star. Yeah, it seems to work for them. But I really like the way the shows are turning out with one director, because like it feels like it's one single vision.
Yeah, it's more consistent.
It feels like it's a movie with episodic content, like it's like a movie turned into episodes. So, I like the way they're doing it with on the Marvel side. But like I said, it doesn't feel like it's hurting the Mandalorian either.
Yeah. And then as the head writer, it's AC Bradley. It's just one head writer and one director. For all 10 episodes. Has he
written anything for Marvel? The writer or no?
No, not like cinematic universe. He has dabbled in superheroes. He did Arrow. So.
Oh, okay. He's written some episodes for them.
He was in Arrow, like the first season. So.
Real quick, quick question about the series, the What If show.
Third, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is there anything like the trailer that we've seen? Is there anything that you're looking forward to, like more than something else? Like It's like with the scenarios. I know we don't know what episodes are coming out, but as far as like we've seen T'Challa as Star-Lord, we've seen Doctor Strange possibly working with Dormammu, and we've seen Peggy Carter as Captain America, or Captain Britain, I guess. Is there any particular one you're looking forward to the most?
Out of what we've seen, just because I like the comics, the Marvel Zombie, and I do think Star-Lord T'Challa is pretty interesting. But I'm just, if the IMDb is correct on like who's cast stuff, I kind of want to know the story behind. It is like Jane Foster's supposed to be in it, and Natalie Portman's doing the voice. And then there's supposed to be Ant-Man, and then Kurt from Ant-Man. So
Ant-Man's the head. He's just a head in a jar. That was kind of crazy.
So yeah, but I mean, I just because like pretty much, so there's like been some weird, I guess speculation on Robert Downey Jr.'s social media like last week because he unfollowed everybody. I think people are just overthinking the situation. I really don't think it's anything else, and I don't think Robert Downey Jr. cares, to be honest with you. But so some people are like kind of freaked out because the only out of every MCU character that is in this, with the exception of the Watcher, which is Jeffrey Wright, which is great choice, but by the way, he's in all 10 episodes. But so Captain Marvel, Captain America, and Iron Man are not voiced by Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and Brie Larson. They're the only original MCU people that will be voiced by someone else. So, I mean, it happens, contracts and stuff. Who knows? But, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if like too much into it. Do you guys think anything of it, or is it like whatever for you guys?
It's whatever. It's an alternate universe anyway. He could still be the same character, but have an alternate voice. You know,
because I mean, he did sound different in the trailer, but it wasn't too far off. So
yeah, I think they're trying to mimic his voice, if anything. I think there's some significance to that. I think when Chris Evans left, he left willingly. He was done. I don't know if Robert Downey Jr. left willingly. I don't know if he was just cut out, like he was done, or they kind of forced him out. You know what I mean?
I don't know if that'll ever be speculated because it never. I just know that the way his contract was setting is like, if he was put in another Marvel movie, like it was gonna be like too expensive supposedly for Marvel.
He was raking in the because he was the only one at the beginning that didn't sign a multi-picture deal. So every movie they wanted him in, he negotiated his fee. So and he was, I think for Civil War alone, I think he made like $75 million or something like that. Yeah. And then he made a load of money for his appearance in the Spider-Man, the first one. Was it
Homecoming?
Homecoming. So yeah, he was getting pricey in there, but they could afford it. Every movie they're putting out was making $1 billion. Sometimes two and a half, depending on the movie, you know. So yeah, it wasn't like they were like pinching pennies or whatever. They could afford to pay him whatever they wanted, you know.
We'll see.
They're just, I think they just wanted a bigger cut of the pie and not pay the actors as much.
I mean, we could.
Because I don't know if you want to get into it.
You got it. Go ahead.
They just announced, Kevin Feige just came out and said something that to the extent that they're done with the multi-picture deals. They're gonna sign every actor per movie. So they meaning they want the actor to come back and want to be a part of the universe. That's what I read. They don't want to force the actor like to be a part of it. They want the actor to willingly want to be a part of it. So, I mean, anybody want to be a part of it as long as you're being compensated fairly. You know what I mean? You're not. Because I think they were saying something to the extent of like the Black Panther cast, that movie made $2 billion, but each actor was paid like just really like low wages. You know what I mean? Not like minimum wage or anything like that, but for a movie that made that amount of money, you expect the actors to be paid
a little better,
significantly better than they were. Yeah. So.
Well, no, I was gonna bring that up anyway, but no, I mean it goes two ways. I think from the business standpoint, it's not having to negotiate contracts, but then from an actor standpoint, because I know as much as Chris Evans enjoyed playing Captain America, I know that he said that the reason he wanted to stop was he wanted to be able to do other things as an actor, because literally all he pretty much did from I think Winter Soldier on was in every Marvel movie that came out, because he had a cameo, he was literally Captain America, so he couldn't take a bunch of projects and stuff like that, just because of the fact that he was like kind of held hostage by like the contract that he had with them, because he needed to do all the movies before he could like not worry about, okay, well I can take this project now because I'm not going to be held up by a Marvel movie. So that could be why they did it as well. And then from like a consumer standpoint, it kind of makes you like not like, it's hard to predict things, I guess, because with some stuff that's already come out, like you kind of already knew all this actor is going to be in that, so they don't die and blah blah blah. So now if like it's a mystery box, you kind of can't presume like, okay, well maybe they won't do anything with this character. Like example, like right now Paul Bettany, how he said that he does not have anything for Vision. Like it's like, okay, yeah, you just made him White Vision, but that doesn't necessarily mean that like he's gonna come back. Like that's, like in the long run you'd hope so, but he hasn't been contracted for it. And so like you said, it's one of those things, I guess, to see if they really want to come back, so that it's like, okay, I guess gives Marvel more of the power to negotiate. So, but
I think it actually puts the power in the actor's hands. The actor could better negotiate their fee per movie instead of signing a multi-year deal. And say if their movie blows up, like with Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt kind of blew up after he did Guardians. So now he has the power to negotiate a bigger salary or greater salary for whatever movies he's going to do with Marvel in the future. So I think it puts that power in the actor's hands, which is great if that's what they want to do. They're getting I don't want that lambasted by somebody about underpaying the actors or something. So maybe they want to correct that. So, but anyways, I kind of got off topic from what we're talking about. We're talking about the What If trailer.
No, that's fine.
So.
It's all Marvel, so it's all related. Yeah. If anything, that was like one of the better segues and things we've ever done before. we stayed on point.
And no, we kind of got off. Oh, so I was kind of curious as what Paul was most excited about when it comes to the What If trailer. What episode or what scenario?
Peggy Carter.
I
know.
Say that. I'm actually just kind of even for everything, because I don't know what's kind of to be expected on there, but I do want to see like what the Watchers have to do with everything. I know that they kind of just watch over stuff and all that with the different universes and everything, but I kind of want to see what they go with everything on there.
I kind of want to see the Howard the Duck one too, because Howard the Duck is in it, so I want to see.
Oh yeah.
How many episodes?
It's just 10, but I don't know. It's that's why I don't know how trusting it is, because IMDb now says that there's 2 seasons, and there was only one, so now IMDb says there's 2. So if they keep the series going, I mean, that'd be cool. But at the same time, because I mean, if it's like the What If comics that they used to make, then that's cool, because it's just one shots, and they don't mess with canon or anything. It's just a cool alternate universe of, you're like, oh, that'd be cool. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking.
Talk, it just reminded me. It's been 6 years to the day since Comic-Con, where I was in line for the Agent Carter signing, and the line capped out, and that was so sad. So 6 years ago today.
Sorry, buddy.
Beyond pissed.
Wow.
One day you'll get to meet Haley Atwell. We'll try to make it happen.
It's all good.
One day. So here's what I'm thinking in regards to the What If trailer, the What If show. It's gonna, I don't know if it's gonna introduce the multiverse, but you say it takes place in a different alternate reality, like a one-off, like what if this would have happened, whatever. So they're introducing the multiverse right now, and it's gonna run through WandaVision, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man. So they introduced in the trailer, Killmonger as King Killmonger or something like that, and he's saving Iron Man, that's really intriguing to me, because I don't know if I don't know if there's any possibility of them kind of like doing a segue into maybe Killmonger, like with the whole multiverse and bringing Killmonger back, maybe
Oh,
introducing him as Black Panther. You know what I mean? Like kind of like trying to make him a good guy in the show, and then maybe like, oh, like he's a good guy now. We're gonna introduce him as the new Black Panther. Because I mean, if they bring back Michael B. Jordan, like he's a great actor, and I wouldn't mind him
And
as the
he
new Black
always works with
Panther.
Ryan Coogler, and they're like
Yeah, he did. He
it's
did.
like they're like the Johnny Depp and Tim Burton. So
Yeah.
there was a good duo.
So I'm
I
thinking
would
that
assume
might
that
be
the
scenario.
females would want that also.
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
My mother
And,
and my
To
sister.
the female viewers of this podcast, you should
I'm
let us know.
not.
Yeah.
I'm not. What's it called? I'm not sure how they'll bring him back, but that would be a cool scenario. Because I'm not really sold on Shuri taking the mantle of the Black Panther. I know it's happened in the comic books, but as far as the actress in real life, I just don't. I don't know if I would want that. I don't know if that. I would rather his girlfriend take the mantle or somebody. I don't know, somebody else. I just don't like the sister for some reason, or one of the guards. I forget the Dora Milaje, one of them. Something. I don't care for the sister as the Black Panther though. So if they bring back Michael B. Jordan in a scenario where he could be the new Black Panther, that might be cool.
Well, we'll see.
So.
I mean, it's all.
And then just the animation of the What If trailer, that's freaking amazing. Like it looks so cool. Like I would want them to do something like it's cool if they do a second season, but if they could create like some kind of Marvel's like animated universe with that same kind of animation and great storytelling, like that could lead to something else as well.
Just like the DC movies, where you get the Blu-rays of Marvel movies.
Yeah, DC kind of blows their DC animated movies blow the Marvel out the water right now. They don't really have count. But this What If trailer kind of like it's different. It's way better than anything that DC's put out. The only thing that's better than that is probably the Spider-Verse movie. Spider-Man into Spider-Verse.
Yeah, for sure. No, it looks exciting. It does premiere August 11th, so not too far away.
Girlfriend's birthday.
Oh.
We're watching it.
Is that what she wants for her birthday?
No, but
It's all cool.
watch it after.
Yeah, as of today, it'll be 29 days, so not too bad.
Looking forward to that. That looks really interesting.
So we'll I guess cover the Nintendo, and then we'll just do reviews, because that's like the last two things we pretty much got. So on July 6th, in underwhelming fashion, I woke up in the morning, saw that Nintendo was trending, saw that it was Nintendo Switch that was trending, and then lo and behold, it was revealed as the Nintendo Switch OLED, not the rumored Nintendo Switch Pro. So, the Nintendo OLED has a $349 price point, and is pretty much the original Switch, but now with a 7-inch OLED screen, 64 gigabytes of memory, the same chipset, which is the custom NVIDIA Tegra X1, the same battery life, which is 4.5 hours to 9 hours, depending on like your brightness and volume and all that stuff. The connectivity is the same, except now you have wired internet. You don't have to buy an adapter. And then the screen size is, well, you're in a 7-inch, but I mean the size, dimensions of it all the way, it's 9.5 by 4, and then by 55 inches, which the other one was 9 by 4 by 4 by 55 inches. So
not 0.55 inches.
Yeah. And it's weight is now, so it's the new one is approximately 0.93 pounds, and the original one was 0.88 pounds. So I will not be doing the upgrade because there's no point for me to do it. I already have a memory card in there that is already more than 64 gigs. I was cool with buying an adapter for wired internet, and I only keep that thing docked. I don't take it portable. So the 7 inches to 6.2 inch does nothing for me. Paul, are you gonna upgrade your Switch?
No, I'm not. It's so incremental on this one that I don't need one. Like you, I have a bigger memory card on my Switch, and yeah, I don't see the need of an OLED screen when it's like just that big.
So I already know why Tommy's getting it. That's because Tommy doesn't have a Switch. So, but I mean, are you excited for it, Tommy, or are you kind of like underwhelmed?
I'm underwhelmed. I was expecting a bigger upgrade than the upgrade they came out with. But I don't have a Switch, so I guess it's something's better than nothing for me. I guess.
mean, the white Joy-Cons
And
are sick. They do look really nice.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. Like it looks cool, but wanted like 4K. I wanted like we had this discussion before where I kind of want them to keep up to date with power wise with Sony and Microsoft. Yeah, because back in the day, everybody says, "Oh, that's not Nintendo, that's not Nintendo," but back in the day, it was with the original Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. They were either the most powerful console or one of the most powerful consoles at the time. I understand there was like a couple other competitors like Sega and Sony, but they were on par with them power wise. So I mean, it's cool that because Nintendo has their first party games, their Metroids, their Mario Karts, their Mario games, Zelda, that they own, that are exclusive to that console. But if they would upgrade their power to comparable levels with Sony and Microsoft, they would be fighting for the third party games as well. They would compete on that stage, I guess.
Yeah, because speaking of third parties, like the reason I kind of wanted like 4K. I mean, I don't play too many third party games on the Switch anyway, because the Switch is I just mainly play their exclusives. But like that's the running gag is that it never the third party games that are available for it don't play nearly as well as compared to like a PlayStation, an Xbox, or even heaven forbid like the cloud gaming, because they're like capped at 30 frames per second for most of them, where everything else is 60 or depending even 120 depending on the hardware you're using. I just wanted them to at least have a 4K upgrade. Like even though I had just gotten my Switch, even though I have the sick ass Animal Crossing one, I would have traded it in for a 4K one. Like I was actually like, oh cool, if there is such a thing as a Switch Pro, I'll trade in my Switch for the 4K. I mean, granted, I only play Animal Crossing, Super Smash Brothers, and Pokemon. That's all I have on it. And then soon to be Scott Pilgrim when it comes in, but still, but having it in 4K would have maybe buy more games.
So does that warrant the $349 price to you guys?
I think it does with the 7-inch screen. Like if you don't, I would just say for somebody that doesn't have it already, it's fine, because it's still cheaper than. It's that, but it's only $50 cheaper than the PS5. All digital.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's only $50 cheaper than that, and PS5 it's probably a lot more powerful than that Switch. So, but you can only play Nintendo games on that Switch. Like you can only play your Mario's and your Zeldas, your Metroids on the Switch. You know what I mean? That's the one thing about Sony and Nintendo. They have great exclusives. And if you want to play third party, you go to Microsoft. That's the most powerful console at the time right now. So, but yeah, I want to play Mario Kart. I miss playing Mario Kart. So that's why I would want to get it. And I was waiting for this because this has been rumored for years, like the last few years already. So I'm like, oh, I'll just hold off. I'll hold off for the Switch Pro, and then we get this. It's not even 4K. So.
I mean,
and I have a feeling they're gonna come out a brand new Switch in the next year or two. Like I remember Xbox did that, where they came out with the One S, and then next year came out with the One X, and then a couple years after that, it's the Series X.
Yeah.
So my $500 One X was obsolete real quick.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I am just glad that for stuff like this, I don't work at Best Buy anymore, because I could already imagine. I mean, granted, they're not in stock right now, but Xbox alone, there's so many, like the naming. Oh, I want an Xbox One X. No, you want an Xbox Series X. No, Xbox One S. Xbox Series X. Like it's so. And now there's a Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo Switch OLED, Nintendo Switch Lite. So, you know, for a parent who's wanting to get their kid in, like, who wants to buy a Switch for their kid, 9 out of 10, a younger kid's gonna say, "Just get me a Switch," and you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that I mean. Across now going forward, I really hope they give the consoles different names that separate them from, especially they're still going to be like not necessarily a last generation, but just still being, what do you call that, like a different tier of the consoles. It should have a different name. That's just my 2 cents. I know it's something minute that not really a lot of people care about, but I feel they should change that. But as far as I mean, I guess the price range is okay. Like Tommy said, it's not too expensive. But at the same time, I guess you could have kept it at the Switch's price and then did a price drop for the original Switch. But at the same time, it's like, do they want to do $199, $250, and then $299? Like have it just be $50? I mean, it's more or less what Nintendo would want to do, because the Switch Lites are still available and they're $199. So it just comes down to how you want to play it, because essentially the hardware is all the same. Just if you're never going to dock it, it'll always be 720. So I guess the lights can never get 1080p, but yeah.
See, when I get it, I'm probably going to play in dock mode as well. Like,
dude, I have not undocked that at all. Like, I've thought about it.
Yeah.
But I need to buy a screen protector. I need to buy a travel case. And I haven't done a lot of traveling, but now that stuff's opening, who knows? Maybe I ended up
even when we travel, like we're talking and are playing video games in the room or whatever. Like I can't imagine the scenario we're gonna walk around with our Switches and be playing.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this:
if we're at a convention or whatever.
Comic-Con 2022, depending, who knows? I might actually say screw it and camp out for a Marvel panel, and waste my whole Comic-Con in line. And I'd have the Switch to do so. So. Who knows? That could change depending on what's going on, but
I'll be sleeping in the room playing Xbox and then just hear the announcements on YouTube the next morning.
I mean, that was still fun too, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, if something like that now, if I wanted to kind of like, I mean, you do have the Switch, and I haven't taken it out for that, but
we were in line during the Marvel panel.
Yeah, for the Kevin Smith panel. Yeah. That was a fun time.
That was pretty fun, though.
Yeah, looking up everything and then having everyone else in front of us reacting. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
R.I.P. I won't be going this year.
Same here.
Why Black Friday? Why? Literally screwed every person that works retail out of being able to go. Who wants to keep their job?
It's gonna be like a watered down show, though. It's
But I want to go because, like, I always wanted to, like, I've always wanted to go to Comic-Con since before it was mainstream. Since I've always been into comics, so I mean, this would be like old school ways. Because I remember, like, Dave Schmidt telling me, like, how he accidentally met Stan Lee and cut the line at an old school version because it was, like, not that crazy, and, like, he had just walked the wrong way. And he was like, "Oh, you're Stan Lee." And he said he had a nice conversation with Stan Lee. And then, like, the people were like, "Hey, sir, you need to get back in line." He's like, "Oh," and he looked behind him, and there was, like, a huge line, and he didn't even know.
Oh, wow.
So, like, I mean, you can't. There's no way you could do that now at Comic-Con the way that they run it. So.
Yeah.
I mean, not unless you know somebody who will turn the blind eye and let you go, but yeah.
It's all about the randomness for Comic-Con, so it's all good.
2022, guys. 2022. Been busy ass year for cons. Wait, you said you're not going to Celebration, huh, Paul? Well, at least not right now, because you refunded.
I'll try to go to Celebration. Yeah, I just refunded my ticket as of right now, so I'll try to go one day.
Yeah, you still got plenty of time down the line. So yeah, that'll be the video game talk for this episode. If you have anything else you wanted to say on the Switch OLED, just let us know. I guess I overshot what I thought Black Widow would do. Didn't come close to above 500,000. But it did break a box office record for the pandemic. Hey, I was being optimistic. I thought it was cool. And the theaters were pretty packed this weekend. So.
Wait, you thought it was going to be 500 million opening weekend?
Well, I thought it would, depending. Like, it was... I mean, it did really good. So I'll get to that right now. So hold on. According to Box Office Mojo, the domestic takeover, or take-home, was $80,366,312. That was in the theater. So it's not on Box Office Mojo, but I did read like from Variety and like Deadline. Disney actually released streaming numbers, which they never do. So it took 60 million in streaming from Disney Plus. So
they said they blew those numbers. They blew their expectations out of the water with that, which is great.
Streaming Plus, so it means who knows if they're gonna keep Shang-Chi to just the 45 days in the theater. Like they might do they might do the streaming. So because internationally it did 78 million even. So worldwide right now it's 158,366,312 and 312 for opening weekend, which is beat Fast 9. So Fast 9 this coming weekend is not at 500 yet, but they're like at 466. And if it keeps the way that it is, they might actually end up hitting 500. So I still think there's time for Black Widow. Maybe 800 is like pushing it, but I'm pretty confident it'll get to 500 million when it's all said and done. So it's just you know, the theater was packed when we went in there, which is, I mean, granted we've only gone to like 4 movies since they reopened, but each movie, at least the way I felt, each time I keep going to the movies, it's more packed. And this one, because I got our tickets and it was like, like when we got up, I'm like, oh yeah, the fucking front was full. So, ow. So, you know. But, yeah, that's the take home for it. So, I'm going to just say the disclaimer again. So, the next 2 things we're going to talk about are going to be spoiler heavy. So we're going to go hard in the spoilers in Loki and hard in the spoilers in Black Widow. So if you have not seen Black Widow and you still have not seen Loki, we will see you next episode. And with that said, I did my disclaimer. So, how many times have you, like, I've seen it twice. Paul, have you just still seen it the one time, or did you see it a second time?
Just one time. And
then Tommy, you're still at 2, or you, see it a third
2
time?
times.
2 times.
I'm done.
You're done? Okay.
Twice is more than enough.
You're not going to buy it on Disney Plus?
No. I've heard, I picked up a kid today that said he watched it in the theaters in Dolby, and then he bought it on Disney Plus as well, and I was like, that's a bit much. So, just saying.
Yeah, it's all good. That's not much.
Not
I depending, I know my mom and sister want to buy it. They liked it, so.
Buy it on Disney. I mean, I might buy it on 4K Blu-ray, but not on
I mean, it just depends. I mean, so the really fast, the Disney Plus thing, when you buy it, the premiere, it's yours to keep. It's on the app, like it's yours to keep. So you just have it on digital form. It's on the app. It doesn't go away. So like, cause we paid for Cruella, like we can watch that whenever we want. Like it's ours till we keep our Disney Plus subscription.
So where would it go? Okay, say that's what I'm wondering. Like if you buy it, that's what I was wondering. Like I would buy it if I was able to keep it.
You can keep it. It's just not. It doesn't go in another app. You just have to open Disney Plus to watch it.
So you could cancel your Disney Plus subscription and you'll still have
that.
It
I don't know. That I'm not 100% sure on, but I know it's that. So like, I know some people are upset because eventually, like, if you just wait it out, the movie will be free. but you'd have to wait like past the Blu-ray release and all that stuff. So if you're willing to wait, then no big deal. But that way though, like if let's say it gets pulled for like Netflix or something, you won't be able to watch it. But when you pay for it, it's yours to keep. It's on the app, so you can still watch it when it's like taken away to go on Netflix or something else like that. So
yeah.
As far as like not keeping the subscription anymore, I don't know. I'll see if I can somehow find that out. But yeah, that's why I'm kind of like, it's not so bad to pay the $30, because I know some people want like a HBO Max situation where it's like, well, then for the first 30 days have it be free on the app, which would be cool. But I don't know, I kind of think the $30 thing's not so bad since you get to keep it.
I'm cool with the way Disney's doing it, like making you pay for a movie that's out in theaters. Like it gives you the option to stay home if you don't feel comfortable going to the theaters, but paying for it. You know what I mean? Like, because we're only paying what, if you got, I think, Paul, you're only like at $3 a month for Disney Plus since you signed up like 3 years ahead of time or something like that. So you had a really, yeah. So
got lucky, really man, because I've already had to drop $70 this year. and I'm gonna have to do it again in October.
So yeah, that's what I mean. So, like, I'm cool with paying for it because they're putting a lot into these movies as far as with the production and the CGI and special effects. So, I mean, I don't mind paying for it if I were to pay for it that way. If I wanted to stay home and I didn't want to experience it in theaters, I would pay for it to watch it at home.
Yeah.
So, something like that. Like, I didn't really want to pay for Raya or the movie Cruella. Like, I'm cool. I'll wait for those.
I don't regret buying Cruella. Not at all. That movie's good. I've seen it 3 times now. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I seen Cruella. It was good. I wouldn't pay for it though. That's just me. That's my own personal preference. Man. That's it. But I thought I enjoyed it as well though.
I think it's the most underrated Disney movie in a while.
I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed Shazam. I'll say that. So I really liked it.
Taking another shot at Zachary Levi.
Yeah, I really like Cruella. Cruella was really good. It was enjoyable. So that's all I'm saying. I wouldn't pay for it though.
All right. Well, let's talk about Black Widow. So, just what Paul, what stuck out to you in the movie?
For me, I think there was that one line when Yelena and Natasha are talking to each other, like in that I think that gas station or whatever, and then she was just saying how one is like lauded as a hero, and the other is pretty much just known as a killer, but they do the same thing.
Yeah, they're both trained killers. So, just she's not the one that's on poster in kids' rooms and like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that was like one of the coolest parts in there. But for me, I wish this was a series rather than a movie, because there was a lot of parts in here where I wish it was expanded rather than having it just constrained with like 2 hours and stuff. A 6 hour like Falcon and Winter Soldier style, I think would have helped this out a lot.
It is interesting that you say that, because this is the first movie to come out after the Disney Plus series. And the Disney Plus series, I guess, kind of have spoiled for context now, because you're kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess that would be interesting in a show, but,
I was just gonna say that. Paul
you want to see Red Guardian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it would have been cool. No, I agree with what Paul's saying, because that would have been cool, like an episode of Red Guardian in his prime. Like doing whatever he was doing.
Well, you could even do you could even do a backstory episode, like an episode where he's just in the prison, and you just show how he becomes like he is in the prison.
That could have been, honestly, the like what Paul was saying, that movie could have been a good 10, 12 episodes with good, like a lot of content in there, like doing backstories with the kids training and previous missions with the widows and stuff like that, and a mission with the Red Guardian. Like, yeah, the Disney Plus format, it spoiled all of us. So
yeah,
I didn't think about it until Paul brought it up, and that it would be awesome. I think this movie is particularly because of all the characters and stuff. So,
because I think like everybody keeps on saying you should give Black Widow her due, her justice, because she's done so much for Marvel. You gave her only 2 hours, where you could have given her 6 hours or even 10 episodes or whatever. I think that could have been her justice to give her justice for her character. You know.
Nah, that would have been yeah. You give her as many years as she's been in the MCU, that many episodes. And that would have been cool because it could have been the first Disney Plus show, and that would have been like giving Black Widow its due because it would have been the first Disney Plus show. I mean, it is what it is. Who knows? I mean, they could end up. They're not doing multi-picture deals anymore, but we already know that some people out of this movie are going to be in future projects, so that would
you still could have you still could have did the end credit scene at the end as well.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? So you wouldn't have missed a beat. Like, you could have expanded on the stories, expanded on did more character development, and yeah, Paul's right. This stupid streaming service spoiled all of us. So
yeah,
I didn't even think about it. I honestly didn't even think about it.
I wonder if that's how I'm gonna go into all the Marvel movies now and be like, this should have been a Disney Plus show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see.
But I think it's the context that when we were thinking before the shows happened, we were thinking about shows being like a low budget 30-minute type show, whereas when we finally got into these shows, where you actually saw that, hey, they're putting money into this, they're making them like mini movies,
they
not
literally
shows.
are. It's Game of Thrones status, where it was,
Yeah. But what did you guys like?
Tommy?
I guess the scene that woke me up was when Taskmaster shot that bazooka at Black Widow, when she was in her little bucket making that left and
in the
just
beginning?
gets hit with the rocket. Yeah, that seems like whoa. Like it woke me up. It literally woke me up, and I was like, okay, this is real. This is happening. So
for context, Tommy saw it in the morning.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, not saying the movie's boring.
No.
Just for context, he saw it in the morning.
11 o'clock in the morning. I can't really think it was like Paul was saying. Paul made a great point when he said it should have been a show, because there really wasn't much. I really liked the way they referenced the first Avenger movie, where because I didn't even think about it when they said Dracoff in the movie. It sounded familiar, and then you go back and Loki's having that competition with Widow, and he said you have all that red in your ledger, and he said Dracoff's daughter, and nobody knew what he was talking about then, and then they brought that up in the movie. So that was cool how they reference old movies and the new ones. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I didn't catch that when he said it the first time. Like, who's Dracoff? What is he talking about? Whatever. And then they brought it up in this, and they explain what they were talking about. Yeah, that's about it. Like I said, I wish they would expand it on the Red Guardian. But as far as the movie goes, it's me and Paul were talking about it after the theater. It's kind of in the middle of the road. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, it's
I'll have to go through the list
for being
again.
a solo movie. It's in the middle for me as well.
Yeah. So what did you like about it? What didn't you like about it?
So Florence Pugh was really good. I liked Yelena. She was like kind of a breakout out of it. And then Red Guardian's character, I really liked. So I'm kind of glad he didn't die. I hope we see more of his character, and the mom too, Melina. They were all, her family was cool. The action on it, from what we got, was cool. I know how people were saying it like Winter Soldier ish. It did kind of feel like that a little bit because of the like sabotage and stuff like that. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, I mean it was good. I was entertained the whole time. I liked it a little more than I thought I would. Because the opening, when I went to go see it on Thursday with my mom, with my family, I really fast just looked at like spoiler-free reviews just to see what it, like everyone was gonna be saying about it, and the negative ones were like the typical like Captain Marvel hate. where it was just because it's a female lead. So I'm like, oh, okay, it's just gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those, where like people are just gonna hate it, and like the movie, I liked it a lot. Like I don't hate Captain Marvel. Like I still have the audio, and I'll try to fix that episode, or we could just redo it again, where we ranked all the Marvel movies. I put Captain Marvel like, I want to say like 13. I put it higher than both these two.
End of the year.
We should, because with all the other ones that came out, we'll redo that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I liked it a lot more than I thought. That's why after I saw it the first time in Dolby, like I was excited to see it again with you guys in IMAX. And it was good. The second time, I caught some stuff. Oh, I'm gonna say it too. Shout out to my friend Lauren for being in the movie. So, my friend Lauren is a VFX producer for Marvel, and she told me after I saw it the first time that she's in the movie in the scene where they start showing all the widows on screen. Her face is one of the widows, so it's pretty cool. It's kick ass. But yeah, I mean it's. I originally thought I wouldn't care about it only because you already know the fate of Black Widow, and I figured this movie kind of would have just been like an introduction for her sister, or even like the Red Guardian. I figured they were going to be the ones to continue out of this story, and even Taskmaster. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised that I actually did care like about Black Widow's thing, like her fighting when all the widows, like towards the end when they all like fought on her. Like if this movie had have been where it's supposed to be, like, so we got Civil War and then got this movie, I think I probably would have been like, holy shit, she might die. But you know,
yeah,
it would have given that sense. So that's why, like, if I ever meet somebody who's never seen MCU movies and they want to like watch all of them, like I would show them this movie where it goes in the timeline, and then just like not show the end credit scene till like after Endgame. I'd be like, oh, okay, when I have to go watch this end credit scene. I think even if you played this end credit scene after Endgame, it still would fit perfectly in, because it's right after it. So, but yeah, that's my thing. I don't really care about the whole Taskmaster being gender swapped. I think it's whatever. Like Taskmaster is not one of my favorite villains. He's cool, but I mean, I'm sorry for all the like hardcore Taskmaster fans that didn't get your version of Taskmaster. I still think it can happen, because the way they introduce an MCU, the helmet is tech. So if you want to get the original Anthony Masters to just steal the tech, there's your Taskmaster, and then you can fix it, and it goes like the comics, just with tech instead of his photographic memory. So that's my 2 cents on that. But anything else?
So what did you? Go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, did you like to spot the different fighting styles of Taskmaster? I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. It was the only thing that I guess wasn't disappointing out of the Taskmaster reveal. I didn't care about it being a girl. Just like when when Dreykov told Black Widow that like she copies everything that she sees, so she fights like your friends. I'm like, oh, so she never fought them. She just saw video footage of them, and that's why she can fight like them. Like I remember like last year when I think it was the second or maybe in the first trailer when like they showed Taskmaster, because it was a scene that wasn't really in the movie, or it was from a different perspective, because I think it was on the bridge, if I remember in the trailer correctly. Like it was like the bridge was burning, and it's literally the shield was on the floor, and you know, Taskmaster just kicked it like Captain America does, and I was like, oh my god, Taskmaster fought Captain America. Like that's what I thought that was, but that was like the only thing. It was just because, you know, she watched the videos. But I did like when she did the bow and arrow like Hawkeye, all the flips and stuff like Captain America. So I thought that was pretty cool.
She even did the
Black Panther. Yeah, when she fought Red Guardian. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was cool. So I mean, you could, like I said, you could still, even if they keep Taskmaster as a girl, so you know, there's still ways to keep it going where it can follow the original comics. So that'll get sorted out.
Can I say one thing I didn't like?
Yeah.
The use of Smells like Teen Spirit.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a negative for me as well. The instrumental was sick, but
yeah.
What part was that? What part
in the beginning, the opening credits,
the intro,
the opening credits was the Nirvana thing.
Oh,
where it was all girls, like because in the first time when I was like, why is this being played? And then the second time when I saw it with you guys, I was like, well, the instrumental's cool, but like, yeah, the lyrics just kind of take you out. And
yeah, and I think that's where it reminds me so much of Captain Marvel, because they play Nirvana's "Come as You Are" when she's in that one
the bar,
that one thing. Yeah, they play that, and I don't know. Even I didn't like that, so I don't know. It's a little off-putting.
And that would have been the same time because Captain Marvel was in the 90s, and essentially the intro of this movie is in the 90s. So apparently the 90s are just going to be Nirvana for every Avengers movie.
Nirvana's cool though.
At least going forward, I don't hate Nirvana either. Just like I guess going forward, every female movie that's set in the 90s is going to have some Nirvana song. It's going to be the staple of Marvel going forward.
But like I said though, I think we all agree we didn't hate Captain Marvel, but I don't think this is on par with how, I don't want to say how bad Captain Marvel. I don't think Captain Marvel is a bad movie. I think this is a step above Captain Marvel.
I think Captain Marvel suffered from the marketing. I just think they were so like not disrespecting the movie. Like I get what they were trying to do with the marketing, but it seemed like Disney was trying to chase the Wonder Woman crowd because they were like, "Oh, look, we're making the girl superhero movie now too." It's when it says like when they did the Her and then Hero and stuff like that in the trailer, like it was too much of it. And when you got to the theater, like the movie for the most part, I didn't take it that way. I just saw it as like a female version of Iron Man, and like the way she acted, like yeah, she was kind of cocky, but so was Iron Man. And I remember my uncle who like hated it. He's like, that movie was terrible. She was so like cocky, and I'm like, but that's how Iron Man is. And he like literally was like, well, it works for Iron Man. I'm like, why doesn't it work for Captain Marvel? Because she's a chick. Like I don't get it. So
there was just with Captain Marvel, there was just something missing. Like they didn't nail that movie. Like I wish they, like I said, I really wanted to like that movie. I didn't like it.
I also think that's too because it's too different. I think she was also told to play Captain Marvel differently because she had already done Endgame, because she did Endgame before she did the Captain Marvel movie. And the Russo brother, and it's also too like she's worked with the Russos before, so like they might have told her to play Captain Marvel differently versus the way the director told her to play it in the movie. So
yeah, I didn't kick her as cocky. I just something was off in that movie. It just they didn't stick it. It wasn't. They didn't.
The second one.
It didn't come together. It didn't come together. So hopefully her experience on the first one, she knows the character more and she'll be able to portray that character better on screen in Captain Marvel.
I mean, if it might work that way because like. Now going back, like I mean, the first Captain America is still whatever to me, but I mean, I like it a little more. But
yeah,
Winter Soldier by far is way better than the first Avenger, and that was because of the experience that they had. Like Chris Evans, was like, no, I want the character this way, and we need to do it this way from the action standpoint. So,
well, they also had a better director on part 2 than.
No, I know, and Marvel's movie is going to be a different director. So
yeah. So they're changing. I was gonna say that they're changing the director from Captain Marvel 2 to Captain Marvel 1. So hopefully that makes a difference, and hopefully they nail it. Like I really want to. I don't want to dislike any movie, but I'm just gonna be honest. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't know. That's what we're here for,
Exactly. But Paul, was there anything that you I don't know, liked or didn't like that we didn't talk about?
You could put the family meme on here because it was about family.
Yeah, it was a better movie than well, I didn't see F9, so I can't say it did not end up happening. We didn't go to the theaters for it, and we won't now because my little brother only wanted to see it in Dolby, and since Black Widow kicked it out, it's not we're not gonna go see it in Dolby. So,
but in reality, the family thing. I think it was good
very
because
well done.
They're not like blood related, but they're so like what's it called, in their situations together, that they are family in that sense.
Well, yeah.
And I thought it was good.
No, well, to piggyback on that, like I did like how like in the beginning because the beginning was really cool, the way that like, you know, the whole like spy thing, he takes like the tape, they're fighting the I guess it was U.S. agents or whatever, they're fighting him off.
It was Shield.
Oh yeah, it was Shield. So that was cool. And then it did kind of take me out how like he just let, you know, the what is it? Is it KGB? Because it's supposed to be the Cold War, so what the Russians? Yeah. So just whatever. When they actually like injected, you know, Natasha and her sister as kids, I was like, what the hell? But later on in the movie, you do realize that, you know, he did love them as a dad, just he didn't show it, and he even like tries to. It was funny how he kept trying to want to say something, but he never, like the whole earpiece thing, and and I guess I did notice someone pointed out that I think it's his right tattoo. He does have their names on his arm, so it's Natasha and Yelena. So I think that was pretty cool. And so the whole family thing was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the part where I think we're working off a lag or something.
Yeah,
right
that's what it is.
But I was just gonna say that the part where I think Elena was talking about how it was real to her, and it kind of brings you back to the intro scenes where they were showing them film like Christmas scenes. And they were doing birthday parties and all whatever, and she's like, "It's real to me." So I thought that was kind of interesting.
That was kind of like one of the more sad parts of the movie. Like,
yeah,
like I'll just say, I know my mom doesn't listen to our podcast, but my mom did get really emotional because like the whole thing with her family and her sisters. So that was one part that, like, I guess for me was cool because she really liked it, because she liked this movie a lot. Like that's why she wants to buy it on Disney Plus, because she wants to see it again as opposed to waiting for the Blu-ray to come out. But yeah, it was kind of sad how like that was the only family that Yelena knew, and like since Natasha was older, like she kind of just like was like, okay, like she kind of, I guess, brushed it off and just kept going. But Yelena was like, you could tell it scarred her, and she was like really hurt about it. That's why like the whole scene at the table, like she got up and like got mad because she's like, screw you guys, like this was the only family I knew, and it's real to me. And so it was pretty crazy that they like were able to get like that. They got real for a second in a comic book movie. So I think they portray family better than Fast and Furious, and they aren't a real family either. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about in the movie? Because I was going to talk about the end credit scene.
Yeah, no, I just was curious about Taskmaster, what your opinion on it was.
Yeah, no, so like I don't hate it. I thought for what it was cool. It still did the whole, I mean, it wasn't a photographic memory, but it was tech. Like, for the people that are really pissed about it being gender swapped, you can still, like I said, you just get some guy named Anthony Masters to steal the tech, and now you've got regular Taskmaster from the comics. Just now it's tech instead of a photographic memory. But I know that, I guess the reason, because damn, I'll butcher her name and I need to get it right. Julia Dreyfus's character, Valentina Contessa. No, her name is not Elaine. That's the character in Seinfeld. What is it? Valentina Contessa. That long ass name. So she was in the end credit scene with Yelena at Black Widow's grave, and that was the setup, obviously, for the Hawkeye TV show. So, so we know that she's working for essentially Lady Hydra in some capacity. So that would mean that she's working with also U.S. agent, and then that's why I know where some people are bummed, because technically in the comics, Taskmaster is the one who's training U.S. agent and all that stuff. So you could still, I guess, essentially do that. That's what I was going to get at, is if you have her, like Anthony Masters, working with her, you can always have them steal the tech, because in the movie it is revealed that since the widows were freed, Taskmaster, they took what was it, Alexandria, that's the name, they switched it, Alexandria Dreykov, they took her with them, so Taskmaster's, all that stuff is still out there in the Marvel universe. But I thought the end credit scene was cool. I liked being in the theater, and you could tell who watched a Disney Plus show and who didn't, because some people were like, what the hell's going on? And then everyone's like, and the first time when I saw it with my family, the guys sitting next to us, like, they hadn't seen Disney Plus, because that's why I guess the dude's friend told him, he's like, I asked you if we needed to watch those shows. And so that was pretty cool. So, and then I also find it funny that after 24 movies, people still get up. Like, I don't understand.
Oh, right.
That still blows my mind. 24 movies in, and you still get up during the credit scene.
My girlfriend knew to sit down and wait, and wait for the end credits to roll. So,
yeah,
that's funny.
I mean, just because of these Marvel movies, like every movie now, I always wait for an end credit scene, even when it's not a Marvel.
Yeah,
movie.
right. And I'm watching Bad Batch on Disney Plus, and I'm waiting to for some end credits. But Star Wars doesn't do that.
Yeah, no, Star Wars doesn't do
forced
that.
to have.
But yeah, but no, I mean, is there anything that I missed on the end credit scene that you guys wanted to touch on or didn't touch on?
That's kind of lame. I thought it was kind of lame that if the sister goes after Hawkeye, blaming him for Black Widow's death, like she should know that he didn't kill her. Like, that's kind of a lazy writing if they that's their only motivation to kill him. You know what I mean?
I think I'm sure it'll get expanded on in the show. It's just it's an excuse to get her in there.
Yeah.
And it's depending. So, I mean, I'm sure in Disney Plus they'll actually expand more on that credit scene as to why she blames Hawkeye for it. Because I'm pretty sure when I saw that, what I took that from that was that because if you remember in Endgame when he was Ronin, he was doing shady shit. So who's not to say he wasn't working for her? And like maybe he botched a job or had another job to do, but because Natasha came and got him, it ended that. And maybe I'm thinking that's maybe why that she wants Hawkeye out of the pictures, because he probably did something or might have killed some, or the other thing, he might have taken a job that killed one of her associates or something, and she wants payback. And so the easiest way for her to get someone else involved is like, oh well, this was the last known person alive with your sister, and your sister is now dead because of him. So that's just my 2 cents. But I see how you could say it's lazy writing. I understand, but I don't think it was lazy writing from this standpoint.
I hope they don't go that route and he killed your sister when everybody knows. I mean, I guess you don't know unless you were there, but
I don't know, because WandaVision did kind of do the weird thing where they said that, what was it? Where they said Wanda almost killed Thanos and nobody was there at the battle. That kind of threw me out when they said that in WandaVision. Remember in the 4th episode when they were like talking about Wanda's powers and they're like, yeah, she almost killed Thanos. I'm like, how the fuck do they know? Like,
yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe the whole world does know that they went to Vormir and she sacrificed herself for the Soul Stone. Who knows?
They could also be kind of writing out Jeremy Renner. Just for being Jeremy Renner anyway.
Oh yeah, his whole thing back last year.
Yeah.
Did he do something
it's never been
his wife?
Yeah, it's never been I think it's still getting investigated. But it's like,
what did he do?
From what it was domestic abuse, and from what I know, it's allegations. It's allegations at this point. But I guess his ex-wife or wife, I don't even know their situation, but basically he got drunk and like threatened to kill her and the kid.
He didn't put hands on her or nothing.
Allegedly.
I mean, not to
allegedly. Yeah. I'm not sure. It's really, it was like, it was one of those things with like, I know it's not the same to compare it, but like when Leticia Wright came out saying like anti-vax shit, and like they tried to like shut it up, like basically tell her stop talking and it'll go away. Like same thing. Like they just made sure that like, well, I'm sure he and his own like he just kind of ignored it, in hopes that it would go away. So. And some people haven't forgotten.
Shuri?
Shuri, yeah. I know that was like a bad take to use that as an example, but that's just kind of how it was.
No.
It's like she's it's just like don't talk about it, and it just kind of fades away. And that's kind of what they've been doing with Jeremy Renner.
Mine's a bad take too. Like I'm not saying that he has to put a hands on her for it to mean something. Like if he's threatening to kill her, that's significant as well. You're not supposed you're allowed to say what you want, but you're not allowed to threaten somebody's life.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, if it's completely true, then by all means.
Yeah, then he has issues, and he shouldn't be. Yeah, he should face some kind of.
Well, I think he, if it's going like the comics are in this show, because he's passing the torch off to Kate Bishop anyway.
Yeah.
I think, like Paul said, he might be just getting phased out anyway, because essentially
that's fine.
From what it seems like,
whatever.
The MCU shows, as far as like the older heroes that are in them, it seems like that's kind of their send off, instead of them being in another movie. Like as far as like Hulk being in She-Hulk, like I could see where like that you don't get the Hulk movie because of the rights from Universal, but like Hulk kind of just can. I mean, he necessarily won't go away, but I mean, like you can be like, oh, okay, that's why he's not in the movies because he's doing this or whatever, and like they give him something to occupy because of She-Hulk. Same thing with Hawkeye. It's like, oh, okay, well, Hawkeye is now just living with his family, continuing going deaf or whatever, because I know that's part of in the show he's going deaf. So.
He's going deaf in the show.
Yeah, because that's in the comics. Yeah, because the set photos. Well, sorry, like spoilers. I know you hate those, but he's got the ear.
Yeah.
He's got the hearing aids. So he's got the hearing aids in his ear. So.
Whatever. We'll see how they go.
I just
don't like that. I just want to dub right in together.
Hold on, you guys talking at the same time. Stop. Paul, go.
I just don't want Elena to end up being a bad guy, a villain type character. I would want to see her as a good guy with bad motives, but not like a true villain in the Marvel universe.
Well, in the comics, she's like an anti-hero. But yeah. I mean, sorry for spoiler going forward. In the comics, she also dies. She also dies in the Secret Avengers storyline. So.
Everybody dies in comics.
That's true.
Captain America died. So.
Everybody
dies
in general.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, we'll see. It's exciting. I have a feeling if it's gonna go a typical route, I don't think she'll be the main villain. I think she'll be maybe. I think they also have 8 episodes, so maybe it'll be like her arc would be like the first. If you're gonna do traditional, the first 4, she's like trying to get them, and then something happens where she realizes, you know what? No, you guys aren't the bad guys. So who knows? But Florence Pugh is really good, and I do hope that we see more of her because she actually was really, really good. So. But yeah, I think that's it for Black Widow, right? Kind of put it.
Pretty much.
Oh, rating. What would you give it? Out of 10. Not like where it would rank in the middle of Marvel movies, just as a movie in general. I'd say it's an 8.
I'd say 7.
I'm gonna say a 7.
7.
And real quick, my takes on Taskmaster. I think I feel like they kind of did the Crossbones with them. Like they kind of wasted him a little bit. That's my take on him.
Crossbones could always come back too, though.
He got blown up.
They never showed a body, bro.
He literally got blown up. But
never showed a body.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. In comic movies, that's or any movie for general. When you don't see a body, they can always come back.
I don't care about the gender swap. That doesn't bother me. It's just I think they missed on.
But like I said, Taskmaster can still be like Taskmaster's an easy fix. Same thing like with Mandarin. How like I guess it's just funny because I remember really being pissed off at Iron Man 3 for the whole Mandarin thing, and you know obviously Shang-Chi's gonna correct that From what we know, I mean,
I don't.
They could still make the character not close to what it is, but
my only reference to Taskmaster is I know he's from the comics.
It's that Spider-Man video game.
He's in a couple. Yeah, it's in the video game. So I don't have an emotional attachment to him. I just wish if they're gonna use him, he would have been a more integral part. That's where Paul's thing comes in as far as the backstory. If they would have did a series instead of a movie, they could have expanded on the Taskmaster character as well. That could have been
no, because I get it. Because some of the hate that it got, where I saw people comparing it to Deadpool and Wolverine Origins. Some people felt that it was like a cheat that way, but I think that's a huge extreme.
Yeah, I just think like what you said about Paul is that the Disney Plus series, they kind of spoiled us, where they could go and expand on these characters and do more character development with the show compared to a movie.
Yeah,
so, that's it. That's my take. That's it for Black Widow.
Yeah,
my bad. I kind of went on too long.
Could have been such a better character if she had an interpreter with her.
Ouch. Damn. That's where
too soon. Too soon.
Too soon. So yeah, well, we're gonna switch to Loki now. This was the what do you call this?
The penultimate episode.
Is that what that means? Before finale? Oh, okay. See, God damn it! I want to be in a film. I don't even know that. It's terrible. So yeah, this episode, I'll just say right off the bat, for me, it was my favorite episode. It's just that the series in a whole, I did not see it going this way. Like, I literally thought from what the trailer originally was kind of like the whole President Loki scene in here. Like, I literally thought it was just gonna be Loki showing up in random time periods, wreaking havoc, and then the TVA like coming in to stop him. Like, I literally thought that's what it was, and I was still cool with that. What we're getting now is like 10 times better than what I could have thought. But this episode alone was really good. I got emotional, and I didn't think I was going to. I got attached to certain characters that I didn't think I was going to. But I would say the Easter eggs in this episode were really cool. Just stick what out. The Judge, what's her name? Judge Wren. I'm butchering her name right now because I'm getting tired. But yeah, you see how her character is not so like. I guess not necessarily to say that she was innocent, but she just like, she's not so.
Gotcha.
What do you call it? Like, I guess by the book. I guess to a degree, if I'm making sense. Like, you can just see like she has the. You can how she's starting to be the Renslayer. Damn, fucking name popped in my head. She's. You can tell like she's kind of a villain too. Like it's just like a bigger villain than what she's leading on. But yeah, I mean, I'll let you guys talk, but yeah, I like the Easter eggs this episode, and then Alligator Loki, fucking kick ass, box wine.
Yeah, Alligator Loki stole the show. Hold on, pause it real quick.
Tommy had to go walk his dog, so we're gonna continue, just because of the time, but we'll have Tommy come back. But Paul, what did you like about the episode?
I like to see all the Lokis and what they actually did, because I know from the previous episode they just showed you that all of them on there. I like to see where they're from, why they're the variants. The kid Loki killed Thor, which is pretty nuts. And then going into that world when it did that shot where it was going underground, and you see Mjolnir, and you see a tiny Thor in a glass jar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, dude, that's so cool how they could just do all these like Easter eggs on here. And the fact, of course, you had the OG Loki. having OG Loki being so powerful. I thought that was like a really good touch to give the OGs like the OGs were a lot more powerful, even though they look like crap with their costumes.
Yeah,
these guys were actually like really big and tough, just like these new guys are. So I thought that part was really dope.
No, yeah, just to piggyback on that, like it is really cool. That as far as like the OG Loki, that like the Disney Plus shows have gotten away with putting them in their like comic book costumes for like WandaVision with the original. So that is cool and a nice throwback. Really fast, I'll name some of the Easter eggs. I looked up some, but not. I'm not going to go detail on a lot of other ones because I don't know them and I don't want to sound like I know them because I just read them. But like the one that Paul just brought up with Throg, which is the frog version of Thor. In the jar, the number 365 is actually it's T365, and that stands for Thor issue number 365, which is the appearance that made. It was confirmed, I think, yesterday or maybe earlier today. That is Chris Hemsworth voicing him. So the screaming is just the audio from the Avengers movie when he's trapped in the in the glass. So so that's pretty cool. And then the other one is of course the biggest one that everybody's all excited about because it's straight out of the comics and cheesy ass thing out of the comics, the Thanos copter. So that's pretty cool. I was just there in broad daylight. The other thing, which is gonna add weight to that whole quantum realm theory, which we'll find out if it's true since next episode is the finale. There was a giant Yellow Jacket helmet. So if you remember at the end of Ant-Man, Yellow Jacket actually got small, not giant. So either the variant got big like Giant Man and got taken from the TVA, or Yellow Jacket's in there, got big, and it's at the quantum realm. So who knows? But that's in there. The other thing was, so it's more of a thing on the comic, and again adds weight to the quantum realm thing with Kang. So the Avengers Tower, you see it again in another shot, but there's actually, it doesn't say Avengers on it. It says, I believe it's called Kang. I could be pronouncing it. It's Qeng. In the comics, that's who Tony Stark sells it to, and that Enterprise actually, like, the person who he sells it to is working for Kang the Conqueror. So that's why, like, again, cool. Adding more weight to the quantum realm thing. But it could also be them just, like, kind of, like, you know, Marvel sometimes does like to, like, mess with people and, like, the Easter egg, like, to give people Easter eggs, so, because Renslayer being in it, automatically people assumed Kang was in here, and so that's just kind of the thing. And I think that was pretty much the only ones I was going to talk about, because there's other ones that are, like, whatever. But I didn't know about this, and so I just thought this was interesting, so I'm going to talk about it. Polybius arcade games. I was the 1980s. I was born in 88, so I'm not aware of these, but I guess it's a game that mysteriously disappeared after it was reported that players were suffering from mild side effects like nightmares and hallucinations. It's in it's in the bowling alley that they're in when they're hiding. Yeah, it's seen behind classic Loki when he starts talking about his backstory, and because I saw that on Twitter, I'm like, what the hell? Why is everyone freaking out about this arcade game? And I guess the urban legend says that Polybius machines were visited by men in black who collected data from their machines right before they disappeared. So I guess it's like you can't find them. So that's pretty interesting. And yeah, that's it. The other things that this list says is, I'll bring two more and then I'll be done. I'm also killing time till Tommy comes back. So I guess classic Loki actually calls Thanos the Mad Titan, and that's the second time in the whole MCU he's been called the Mad Titan. The first time was in Guardians of the Galaxy when they talk about Gamora, and they say that she's the daughter of the Mad Titan Thanos. So, and then it's kind of cool for 90s kids. Kid Loki was drinking Ecto Cooler High C in the original packaging. So, and I guess they have a trend in this show. It said the third discontinued drink that they've shown in the show. Because Mobius likes to drink Josta, And then Casey drink, it says Boku in episode 2. So it's the third discontinued drink that they've shown in the show. So just something to keep about. But trying to think what else we can talk about. Really, I don't want to get too far ahead, but just going on classic Loki's story, I do like how I guess they basically in his timeline he bested Thanos. So it sounded like from what his story was is that he same thing, like Thanos showed up on the ship, but in that version, since he doesn't use knives and he kind of dissed the whole knife thing, which I guess someone said was a stab at the Russo brothers in joke, in tongue in cheek, is that he did his projection and Thanos kills the projection, so he goes to go live on a world by himself, and his whole thing is because he was supposed to die, so when he got lonely he go visit his brother, and he tried to venture out into the world. The TV is like, you're not supposed to exist, and they took him away. So I just think that was crazy. So but yeah, still just stalling for Tommy because I don't want to get too involved in convo and he's gonna be like, you guys did it without me. But
you need to get a sleep soon, so
it's fine. I'm gonna pop 3 melatonins and I'll be out in like 10 minutes. Because those things don't really one doesn't do anything for me. So yeah. So Tommy is back now. And so Tommy, what'd you like out of the episode?
At episode 5?
Yes.
Alligator Loki. Cool. Just a different I think you kind of brought it up when you were talking about your expectations of the show. Like my expectations for the show were kind of low. I thought they were just gonna kind of like shoehorn Loki into the universe just because I guess he's a popular character. I'm not a big fan of Loki per se, so I just felt they just were kind of like almost like a cash grab, just kind of making a show for him to kind of capitalize on the popularity of the character. But the fact that they introduced like the TVA and the variants, and they're just going in a whole different direction that I'm excited to see how it's gonna play out going forward in the Marvel universe. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the show. I don't know if I enjoyed as much as Winter Soldier and Falcon were my favorite so far, or Falcon and Winter Soldier. My favorite Marvel show so far, just because I just like the action and stuff like that. So it's up my alley more so than a Loki character. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it more than I'm enjoying WandaVision. I want to see how, I want to see who the overall villain of the show is. Yeah. So I don't know who that is yet. They're talking about Kang. They're talking about a few different characters. So we'll see. We'll see where they're going with it. But I'm excited.
I'd be really shocked if it was Kang, because apparently his first appearance is supposed to be in Ant-Man 3. So.
Oh yeah.
So I don't necessarily know it might be him, but I guess it is. It's speculation that it is him because, God damn it, because of the time. What was the cloud's name? Alioth, right? I think that's right.
Something like that.
Alioth is is in the comics, I guess, like a tie to Kang too. Like Kang controls it, and then it like gets unleashed and basically does what it's doing in the void. But yeah, so I mean, essentially, like it makes sense because all that stuff kind of leads to him. But we'll see if he ends up actually being the big bad of like Phase 4 and ends up being like a Thanos later down the line. But yeah. But I'm trying to think what else. So yeah, I guess Paul kind of brought it up, but we'll just talk about like classic Loki conjuring Asgard to like kind of save them. I would say that's where my ass got emotional. Like I do like how again they always do like the whole like questioning of like self-worth in this show in this episode, and so like I guess I do kind of like how like Kid Loki gets all frustrated and saying that like all Lokis are the same because of like the whole President Loki double crossing what was it boastful, or I think it's boastful Loki, who like betrayed them and led them there so that he could become king. But he's like, no, it's my army, I'm the king. And then the army turned on him because it's also Loki, so it was like all of them turning on each other to be king. And how like Kid Loki gets frustrating, saying that whenever a Loki wants to like fix themselves, like they realize what they're doing wrong, they want to fix themselves, they get taken out because they're a variant. So I just thought that was interesting that like essentially when he's dying and the cloud's eating him, like he yells out the whole glorious purpose line because he realized what his purpose was, and you're like, damn.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. Made me
I was sad when I was sad when Classic Loki died. I was like, they better save Classic Loki. They better not let him die.
Because there's been a couple memes that kind of hit the point. So it's like, I don't know if you guys seen it, where it's like the scene where it says like it's like Wesley Snipes holding the camera, and it says the cameraman, and it's him crying, and then it's that scene where he's like glorious purpose, and I was like, yep, that's how I felt. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Watching it with my mom though, dude, it's hilarious, because like she literally like she got mad in episode 4 because she thought he died again, and so she yelled at. She goes, "Why do they keep doing this? They just bring him back to kill him." And I'm like, I'm sorry. And then like the same time, like she thought he was gonna die again, and she's like, "I don't want to watch this show anymore. They just keep killing him." And I'm like, I'm sorry. You believe it though. That's the whole point.
They don't die. They survive.
They survive. So. But yeah, episode 6, is there anything you guys kind of like would like to happen, or like anything you kind of, I don't know, do you guys have any idea of where it would go, or you kind of just like, because I honestly don't, I have no idea where it's going. I like, the show has blown my expectations away, so I'm just kind of like, holy shit, like I'm just like sitting there excited.
The only thing that I will guarantee is that there will be a jet ski somehow, some way.
Oh, for Mobius? Yeah. There has to be.
Yeah. I just
There
want.
has to be.
I want them to get out of there. I would love to see Owen Wilson in future Marvel movies. Maybe like, I don't want to say as a Nick Fury type, but maybe like as a Nick, not like that role per se, but maybe as an advisor or something like that, something they could like reference or something. But it'd be cool to have Owen Wilson in the MCU going forward. So,
well, I guess the only thing that can kind of be foreshadowed, besides end up finding out who the big bad is I guess Mobius and B-15 would essentially take the TVA down. How he said the line that, "What are you gonna do now? I'm gonna burn the whole thing down." So, because she doesn't want to work there for them either. So, and I'm glad she lived. I thought she was gonna die. Like I thought it was gonna be revealed that she died like somewhere off screen in the 4th episode, because she kind of just got knocked out, and then like they didn't show her anymore. So I'm like, oh shit, maybe she got like phased off screen. You didn't see it, but no, she was just kidnapped. So.
What was that again?
B-15, the girl who helped them.
The guard.
The guard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean, I covered all the things, was Easter eggs. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm like, now my brain's starting to shut down because of the time. But I think I covered everything I wanted to cover that I had on Loki. I'm just really excited for the finale. Again, the music in this thing kicks ass every time, because the music when he was sacrificing himself was cool. Oh yeah, I guess that one thing, I guess it's kind of cool how they're using like urban legends, like the Void. Like, I guess that ship is like some ship that disappeared, like in real life. It's based off of a real ship. That ship that randomly appeared, that like the thing ate in front of them.
The cannons.
Yeah. So,
yeah,
it's kind of a use of, because they did that earlier with the first episode. Was it first episode or second episode? I think it was second episode, where in like the bet he lost to Thor, and he ended up being that real dude that disappeared. So I just think that's kind of cool. But is there anything else you guys want to say on it, or Are we done?
Just looking forward to the last episode, I guess. And where it goes, like where the characters gonna go forward. That's pretty much it.
So, just kind of like I guess a teaser for it. Hopefully, like I plan since I'm gonna go to bed after this. I plan to put this up tomorrow before the show goes. In a perfect world, I also might record a reaction video to the finale.
Do it.
I don't know if you'll still be up if you want to do it. Because I don't, as you guys have probably figured out, Wednesday is my day off now. So, I plan on either doing that. I don't know if it'll be video or just audio, but I will do a reaction video. So, it might literally be just me in 15 seconds saying "holy shit," but you know, it'll be something. Who knows? But yeah, I think we're tapped out here, or at least I am, because I'm gonna have to pop 3 melatonins and go to bed. So, with that said, guys, thank you for checking out episode 26. Once again, if you could rate the podcast on anything that's rateable on. If you're watching this on the video, like it, dislike it, I don't care. Just give me a comment, something, so I know people are watching. And if anything you want to expand on, you want to email me some stupid crap, that works too, I don't care. geekconclave@gmail.com. And let's see what else. I think that's it. I covered all bases this time. So yeah, next week, at least I guess kind of a teaser, is obviously we'll be talking about the finale and whatever the hell else happens in pop culture and maybe sports. By next week, will the finals be over? Are they're scheduled to go next week, right? If it's game 6 and 7.
Tomorrow's game 4.
Well, yeah.
So.
Well, let's just say the Bucks never win.
I think by next week, yeah.
Let's say the Bucks don't win another game. It would be, because tomorrow is what, Tuesday, so Thursday would be the potential for it to almost end, right? Depending on what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm still torn. I don't know. I'm sad it's not the Lakers, but if the Suns win, it's okay because they beat the Lakers. But then I kind of do want Giannis to win one, but at the same time, not so much. I really don't care. It's weird. I'm indifferent. All right. Anyways, later, guys. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.